Well, for me, I think about that it's a new day. I think here lately, over the last several years, what we've seen in our community is change happen, and it's exciting change. And so it's a new day for our community, which makes it a beautiful day. I think with leadership changes across government, across education, both K-12 and higher ed, I think the opportunity for Northeast Louisiana, Ouachita Parish, and Monroe, Louisiana is pretty special. So it is a new day, and it is a beautiful day. Well, this is home. I was born and raised in Monroe, Louisiana, graduated from Neville High School, went off to play football in Arkansas, and blessed to be able to come back home and start coaching and teaching at Neville. I spent 8 years in public education and worked from teacher, social studies, to welding, to CTE supervisor for the entire district. And had an opportunity to get out and start a business. So I've been a small business owner, grow that business, buy a business, sell the business, and just go through the kind of diverse history of all these different steps. But at the end of the day, coming back to Monroe and reinvesting in this community in this time, I think has been pretty special. I think optimism is easy to find when you look at the change agents that are in place. And what I mean by that is there's leaders across this community, not just one side of this community, but all across this community that want to make this place special. And so it's easy to be optimistic when you see positive change and positive feedback in this communication back and forth that I don't remember seeing growing up here in Monroe. Yeah, so NELAMAC is a group of manufacturers that come together and really gathered around the table and said, hey, we want to affect change positively, not only for manufacturing companies in Northeast Louisiana, but for our community as a whole. And it's business leaders, executives from numerous manufacturing companies that said, we want to focus on education, we want to focus on workforce, we want to focus on our children and telling the story of manufacturing and what's made here in Northeast Louisiana. So I'm a small part of that. I have the luxury of speaking on behalf of NELAMAC very often, but behind the scenes, there are leaders in each of these companies that are doing fantastic things, not only in their companies, but in the communities that they serve. Yeah, so the founding leaders were Debbie Sawyer with Sawyer Plastics. You have Ron Mason with Mid-South Extrusion, Ronnie Hines at Voith. You got Marty Hurlovic with James Machine Works, Joe Tannehill with Lexicon Steel Fab, and Frederick Moeller at Bancroft Back. Yeah, I think the story of workforce, when you look at economic development in a region, it's how many people can you get employed, and not just employed, but employed in something that's a living wage career, right? We don't want just jobs, we want careers, we want people to invest not only in the companies that they work for, but back into the community. And so living wage careers, I think, is critical. So for Northeast Louisiana, what we have is we have companies that are primed for expansion. Just in the manufacturing space alone, there's several companies that could double in size, double in footprint, but they need a strong workforce in order to do that. And so, again, playing a small part in the workforce conversation is how do we connect our K-12 partners with our post-secondary partners at Louisiana Delta and ULM, and really bridge that gap and create that pipeline for our young people to move out of high school into a post-secondary training of their choice and into these careers that are available right here at home. Because I have 2 young children at home, and so it's more important and more at the forefront of my mind than it probably ever has been. And I think for my daughters, when she grows up, and is Monroe going to be home for her? And I'm excited to say that I think the work that we're doing today and that's been done over the last several years is building the groundwork for a community that our young people be proud of, that they want to call home. And so I see a thriving community. I see a strong workforce. I see businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, large businesses right here in Northeast Louisiana that are growing, and not only growing, but growing well. And that, I think, is going to cultivate and kind of catch on and be a catalyst for other growth here in the region. Special. It's an easy word, but I think special is a word that defines so much about who we are as a people, and this place is really special.